Hi, I'm Jake. I make RPG supplements and videos about Pathfinder 2, or PF2. I love PF2, and Battlecry is no exception. Yeah, he's so excited too. Ugh. Kitties love Battlecry. War Mage. I really like this class archetype, and I don't even like wizards. It's a wizard class archetype. I would play this. This seems versatile and frickin' useful in a group. Okay, so I'll get right into it. There will be chapters to follow along. The preamble isn't very long, so I'm just going to read the whole thing. War Mage, class archetype. You learned the arcane craft at a war college, focusing less on theory and scholarship and more on applied magic and how best to leverage spellcraft on the battlefield. You were schooled in Arcana, tried and tested in war, and learned how and when best to employ those spells to turn the tide of battle. This is like the rock version, like heavy metal version of a wizard. Your training included lessons on swordplay and the upkeep of armor alongside the preparation of spells and the deciphering of arcane runes. There are many war colleges that provide this specialized training. Perhaps you were schooled in one of Multhune's, hardest name to say, military academies, or as part of your military training in Taldor or Kadira. Regardless of the source, your unique skills make your combat magic some of the most potent on Golarion. I love the versatility of this class archetype. War Magic, first level. Your studies have focused on using magic on the battlefield along with the basics of warfare, with a sturdy breastplate to turn aside errant arrows. Yes, armor upgrade! You confidently use your spells to turn the tide of battle. If you choose this class archetype, you must select War Mage Dedication as your second level class feat. Prerequisites, you must be a wizard. Unfortunately, but this makes wizards fun, in my opinion. And that means a lot, because I see no point in playing most spellcasting classes except witch. But this is a good wizard. War Mage adjustments. You become trained in light and medium armor. At 11th level, you gain expert proficiency with light and medium armor as well as unarmored defense. You gain the shield block general feat at first level. You gain the war magic class feature at first level. You must choose the School of Battle Magic as your arcane school. You have familiarity with martial weapons, treating them as simple weapons for the purpose of proficiency. You do not gain the arcane bond or arcane thesis class features. That changes later, which is neat. You do not gain the defensive robes feature at 13th level. So let's look at this for just a second, what I just said. Shield block general feat, armor upgrade, it continues to upgrade. You lose a couple of things that if you're focused on battle magic, you're not really going to need those things anyway. You just don't. So you are immediately way more protected in combat, and this lets you use that shield to help allies. Neat. Alright, War Magic. As a free action that can be taken once per round at the start of your turn, you can exchange any spell you currently have memorized for Sure Strike, heightened to the same level as the replaced spell. As normal, you can cast more spells while wielding a weapon in your hands. Wow. As normal, you can cast most spells while wielding a weapon in your hands. So far, we know that this wizard has much more survivability in melee and usefulness in melee. I kinda always want Sure Strike on my list of spells if I'm able to take it anyway, because you never know when you're gonna be in melee, because sometimes it's just thrust upon you, and you might want to be able to be useful. Plus, there are spells that you could use it for. War Mage Dedication, level 2 feat. Uncommon, that has the traits Uncommon Archetype Class Dedication. I'm not reading those again. Prerequisites, you have a spellcasting class feature. Prerequisites is weird because you have to be a wizard, so you should just say you have to be a wizard. Your studies into the battlefield applications of magic have made your spells particularly effective at disrupting enemy formations or manipulating enemy troops into positions where they are more vulnerable to wide-scale magical attacks. When you cast a non-cantrip spell that deals damage in an area, choose a number of targets equal to your intelligence modifier who failed their saving throw against the effect. Move each one up to 10 feet from their original position after they take damage and any other effects from the spell. That's awesome! You can't move a creature into or through obstacles. A medium or smaller creature counts as one target. A large creature counts as 2 medium creatures, and a huge creature counts as 4 medium creatures. So to recap, if you have +4 in your intelligence, then, or 4 in your intelligence modifier, then you can affect a huge creature. You can't move gargantuan creatures in this way. Fine. You also gain the additional lore general feat for warfare lore. If you're already trained in warfare lore, you become trained in a lore skill of your choice. I like that Battlecry has highlighted warfare lore and shown how useful it can be. But anyway, so this feat is the second level feat. You move people. when they take damage from your spells, and you're going to be doing AoEs a lot. This is so cool. And it doesn't have to be specifically just away from you. You just manipulate the battlefield. This is awesome. All right, so 4th level feat. Mage's Field Dressing. 1 action, has prerequisites, War Mage Dedication, and Battle Medicine. Requirements. Your previous action was to cast a spell from a wizard spell slot, and the spell affected an ally within 60 feet. So it can't be a focus spell or a cantrip. As your spell takes hold on your ally, you use some of its magic to quickly dress their wounds. You use Battle Medicine on 1 ally affected by the required spell, so that's within 60 feet. You do not need to be holding or wearing a healer's toolkit, as you conjure glowing threads, bandages, or similar supplies out of pure magic, which adds the arcane trait to Battle Medicine. This gives you a benefit to casting buff spells on allies. How awesome is this? The answer is very. Next feat, level 4. Shield Spell Reinforcement. It's a free action, and it has the spell shape tag. The last one didn't. That's weird. Whatever. Oh, it's after the spell is cast. So Shield Spell Reinforcement, spell shape. Prerequisites, War Mage Dedication. You can cast a shield cantrip. That's also a prerequisite. Requirements, you are wielding a shield. You can empower your defensive magic by channeling it through a physical shield. If your next action is to cast a shield cantrip, you use your shield as a locus to cast the spell, raising a magical barrier in the form of a large force projection of your worn shield. You can choose for an adjacent ally to gain the benefits of the shield spell instead of yourself. If the ally would take damage from a physical attack while protected by your shield cantrip, you can use your reaction to shield block with the spell on their behalf. I have taken Psychic Dedication just to be able to do this. Now it can be just part of the wizard. Fucking awesome. And for me, this saves feats. Because I don't have to dip into Psychic just for this. It's great. And it's a free action spell shape. Neat. Nice and neat. It's nice. I don't know. Next feat, level 4. Siege Ritualist. Prerequisites, War Mage Dedication. Sometimes magical warfare requires the application of more complex arcana. When you attempt a warfare lore check as one of the casters of a ritual, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to the check. Okay, so that doesn't have a lot of application, but there are a lot more rituals in this book, and they're specifically used in big sieges and in wars. So with the rituals in this book, this is actually quite frequently useful if that is what your campaign is centered around. So this isn't always going to be useful for you, but it can be. You learn a siege ritual of 2nd rank or lower. You must meet all prerequisites to be the primary caster of a ritual to select it. At 8th level and every 4 levels thereafter, you learn another siege ritual with the same restriction and with a maximum rank of half that level. Again, this will only matter if it can be involved, if your campaign can involve a siege. But if so, this is great. It gives you so much more power on the battlefield. You can do things like make the walls of a castle slick, or you can do things like make artillery projectiles disease-ridden and spread disease in a 60-foot area. It's cool shit. All right, next feat. Level 6, Arcana of Iron. Prerequisites, Bespell Strikes. I don't like that feat, but this improves it so that I'd probably actually take it. Puffball, move. Move. I love you, honey, but you gotta move your butt. Okay. You eschew wands and staves for more advanced weaponry. You become trained in advanced weapons. If you gain the Weapon Expertise class feature, your proficiency in martial and advanced weapons increases to Expert. The extra damage you deal with Bespell Strikes increases to 1d8. It was 1d6. So this is more useful for Bespell Strikes. It makes it better. But also it just makes you better in melee combat or any kind of martial combat. And it does say that you issue wands and whatnot, but you don't actually lose the ability to use those things. You can still use wands and staves if you want to. It's just flavor text. All right, next feat, level 6, Intimidating Spell. It has the traits Concentrate, Emotion, Mental, and Spell Shape. The devastation wrought by... Sorry, it's one action. The devastation wrought by your large-scale spells is particularly terrifying. If the next action you use is to cast a spell that deals damage in an area, any target who fails their saving throw is also frightened 1. or frightened 2 under critical failure. That is a nice boost. And at 6th level, that's a great low level to get that benefit. All right, next feat, level 8. Shielding Formation. You have mastered unique magical techniques designed to protect your allies from harm. You gain the Shielding Formation focus spell. I'll read that now. War Mage focus spell, Shielding Formation. 2 actions, focus 4. Traits, Uncommon, Concentrate, Focus, Force, Manipulate, Wizard. Range 30-foot emanation, duration sustained up to 1 minute. You conjure magical shields of force to protect your allies around you. You and each ally who ends their turn within the emanation gain a +1 circumstance bonus to AC until they leave the emanation or the spell ends, whichever comes first. By itself, awesome for focus points. If an ally takes physical damage or damage from a spell or magical effect while being granted this bonus, they can choose to end the bonus for themselves as a free action to gain resistance 10 to all damage against the triggering damage. This does not take extra effort on your side. They just do it themselves. This is awesome protection for your group. If they do, they become temporarily immune to the effects of Shielding Formation for 10 minutes. You can do the same by spending your reaction. If you do, you can't cast Shielding Formation again for 10 minutes, though you can continue sustaining the benefit for others. Fucking awesome. This is such a great protection. Like, if you wanted to be a caster and also wanted to be able to help your allies and protect yourself in combat, previously you had to take Champion 2. You don't anymore. This War Mage replaces that need. This is cool. Okay, so Spellshield. Let's look at Spellshield. Level 8 feat. Your shield becomes a bonded item capable of storing your spells. You gain the Arcane Bond class feature and the Drain Bonded Item action. You must select a shield as your bonded item. When you make your daily preparations, you can prepare 1 fewer wizard spells to infuse that magic into your bonded item. This spell must be at least 1 rank lower than the highest rank wizard spell slot you have. When you drain your bonded item to cast a spell, that spell is automatically heightened to the rank of spell you infused into your shield, no matter what rank you originally prepared it at. So, useful? I think I wouldn't bother. Because at 8th level, I think there are just other archetypes that I would dip into to spend my feats on. But there are a lot of people who love Drain Bonded Item action, Drain Bonded Item, and love to be able to manipulate their spells this way. So this can be quite useful. It's not for me. That's fine. It's still really good. Next feat, level 10, Secrets of Steel. Prerequisites, Arcana of Iron. As your prowess with weapons increases, so does the ferocity of magic you channel through those weapons. When you use Bespell Strikes, you gain access to the critical specialization effect of the chosen weapon or unarmed attacks. Nice! Used with Bespell Strikes. I'm glad they included that. If you critically hit with an attack modified by Bespell Strikes, you deal an additional 1d8 damage of the same type as the extra damage from Bespell Strikes. This damage is added after all other calculations and is not multiplied as part of the critical hit. This is the reason I would have taken the other Bespell Strikes required feat and Bespell Strikes just for Secrets of Steel. Because this is a huge upgrade. This is just doing a lot more damage. Like, no, you're still not a martial, fine, but you are so much better as a martial wizard now. So cool. And when you're in the right situation, you're doing a lot more damage with your hits. Next feat, level 12, Battlefield Arcana, and this is the last one, sadly. It has the traits Concentrate and Spell Shape, prerequisites Steady Spellcasting. You have learned to safely cast spells even in the heat of battle if the next action you use is to cast a wizard cantrip or a wizard spell that is at least 2 ranks lower than the highest rank wizard spell slot you have. That spell does not trigger reactions that normally trigger due to a spell being cast or someone using an action with a manipulate trait. So this is just a straight upgrade to Steady Spellcasting. You spend an action and you cannot get reactive strikes on you by casting spells. Fuck yes. That is a much needed in many situations ability. And if it's gonna be special to wizards because of War Wizard, fine, I'll play a wizard. This is a great class archetype. Yes, hello. A War Wizard in a group with a commander and a guardian is freaking amazing. Like, this is the best way I've seen to make a caster tankier and more survivable in a combat. I really like this class archetype. We need one for witches. It's really good. It's cool. And I am glad that they restricted it to wizards, because, like, wizards have to have something, right? I'm just teasing. I know that there are a lot of people who love wizards, and there are a lot of reasons to like wizards. They're just not my preference. But again, this would be a reason for me to play one. So thank you for being here. That's all I have for now. More Battlecry stuff coming. More everything coming. Hi. And if you have thought about it or just want to listen in, we make characters with live chat every Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific. We are currently, on the theme of mythology. We just finished our non-human planeteers. It's mostly animals, awakened animals, and awakened animal adjacent characters, and focusing on 5-man bands so we can talk about how the narrative thread works through all of them and how they work as a cohesive team mechanically and narratively. So the first one we've made so far for the mythology one is Persephone. She's awesome. She is she's a shadow mystic of life and death. Thank you for watching, and if you are a patron, I appreciate you being here every month. And thank you for everything that you do to everyone that helps this channel. Liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, it all helps to further world domination. No, to further getting these videos out so more people can use them. Because, like, I don't know, it feels better to have the things that I made used. It's nice. And if you want to come to Discord to just, like, chat about characters or your life or whatever, feel free. Links in the description. Also, Patreon link in the description. If you want to be entered into a drawing for winning something every month, you just have to pledge $5 or more, and we give away random stuff. This next month, the month of August, at the end of that month, the giveaway will be this potion bottle full of really pretty looking Starfinder 2 honoring cyber dice. 'Cause it's pretty. That's a wizard's hat. Anyway, it looks like a circuit board. If you want to see more Battlecry here, if you want to see build videos here, I will see you in the next one. It's a